So I tried to replace my entire system with AI and make my entire outbound process automated completely with AI. And it just wasted me 2 months where I could have just signed more clients and focus on stuff that makes money instead of trying to automate everything with AI. So let's get into what actually didn't work and what I did manage to pull off trying to automate everything, and what you should learn from my mistakes, basically, so you don't waste time trying to automate stuff with AI that won't really amount to anything. So my vision was basically, okay, we have these campaigns running for our cloud partner clients. They are generating me good leads, and let's try to make everything handled by AI so I can just focus on sitting in the beach and making money with just talking to my clients and not doing much else. I would make a new list every 1 or 2 weeks. I'll take that list, I'll push it to instantly, I'll spin up new copy variants because Google's AI filters detect copy variants after like a couple weeks, after a couple thousand or tens of thousands of sends. So I would manually make new copy variants and I would push a list to instantly. And once we get replies, my appointment setter would handle those replies and turn them into booked calls. And that was our process pretty much. And because I was greedy, I told myself, okay, let's push myself to the limits. I fired my appointment setter and I built an agent that sits on instantly and replies to all of the incoming replies. And I made a system that pushed lead lists automatically to my campaigns once they were drained. And I made a skill that spinned up new copy variants and put them in my campaign and make sure that and that way basically almost everything was automatically. That was the vision, and I put it into execution. So let's get into what actually happened after I did that. Something a lot of people don't think about is that when you make anything that is AI related, along the way you're probably going to have new things that you'd like to implement, or new things that you want to change in your system and optimize, because no system is perfect usually. And that was the case for me as well. Right now we are scaling. We were at like 1 or 2 clients, and now we are at like 6 clients. So stuff that worked at 2 clients doesn't work anymore at 6 clients, and we had to adjust per that. So the AI agent would actually reply to the leads and it would do the job on paper. But let's say I wanted to optimize a CTA, or I want to optimize this and that in the reply agent process. I would have to go to Claude Code and start giving him that feedback and hoping it doesn't break anything. So like the bottom line was I was wasting all of my day implementing new changes to that system, and stuff would sometimes break and I had to fix it. And it costed me so much more than the fucking $500 I could have spent, I would have spent on my appointment setter. And because of that, it didn't do the job as good as the appointment setter, because my appointment setter will also do data entry in my client's CRM, and I couldn't have asked the API key for all of those individual CRMs of my clients. And obviously, and honestly, I also didn't want to do that, because if Claude would freak out and do some irreversible damage on their CRM, I don't want that on to be accountable for that stuff. So TLDR, the reply agent, didn't end up being in production. It was just a waste of like 1 month of engineering and reiterating and testing it, and it just wasn't worth the hassle. And it's way better to just have a VA who is competent. Obviously, most VAs are not competent, but after you test a couple, you'll find someone who's actually good if you know how to filter them in the interview process, and you'll just do a 1 week sort of trial. And it's better to have that VA that costs you a couple $100 per month. And if you want to implement a new thing, you just ping him on Slack instead of touching your whole system on Claude Code. So basically, learn from my mistakes. Don't try to engineer with AI tasks that are low leverage, that you can pay for a human to do, that doesn't cost you too much. Unless obviously it's something that's really easy to automate. But the reply agent or process, it's not really easy, because you have to schedule calls and you have to handle objections, and you have to, and basically you need to have some decision making skills that an AI simply doesn't do as good as a good competent human. So I literally just paid myself to do a 200 per month job. I spent a couple hours per day engineering that AI, then waiting for replies to come in, and then letting the AI answer it and giving it feedback. And that was basically a waste of 2 months. That, and also dealing with the list uploading AI, and then dealing with the copy AI. So I was dealing with all of those AI systems that were pretty low leverage. Okay, so like copy is not low leverage, but it doesn't take a lot of my time. I have my insights and I can spin up good copy in like 5 minutes. But replying to leads where we have templates that a person can use, it's pretty low leverage. And either spend your time making sure your clients don't churn, or spend your time getting more clients. Aside from those two things, you really don't need to deal with all of those AI stuff unless it's something that is really a low hanging fruit that you can just spin up in one day and won't cost you a lot of time. And like, I'll tell you, like for my side, my entire business, it's like 80% automated. We have follow reminders. We have like, obviously the entire outbound stack I'm using is automated cold email. So that's not something that is manual. And I'm still using the list uploading AI because it was pretty easy to set up and doesn't require a lot of time for my side. So this is an example of something that I did use AI that actually went into production and saved me a lot of time. But aside from that, I don't use AI as much anymore, except like as a command center with Claude Code, where I tell him spin up this new campaign with this copy. So instead of me going manually to Instantly and setting up a campaign, it will do it for me. So that saves a decent amount of time, but I don't try to automate anything that requires decision-making skills. And I don't recommend you either to do it. Spend your time getting more clients, or keeping your existing clients. And aside from that, everything that is AI is just going to be a waste of time. And this mistake happening so many times. People are trying to spin up crazy new AI stuff where it doesn't actually equates into new cash in your pockets. So this is the lesson and this is the takeaway. And I hope you got value from this video, and I'll see you again soon.